fall damage only. This is the process of hurtling yourself towards the nearest enemy in hopes to do a little bit of damage. So with that information at hand, I applied that idea to base game Elden Ring to see if we could technically beat the game with only our fall damage. So with that being said, let's just begin. Oh, and also if at any point in this video you enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe so I know to keep doing it. Thanks. So first things first, we gotta go get some great runes. Now, currently we have access to around 5 of them, and we need 2 to actually progress the story. So the first one, which could seem obvious to go for, is the one in Stormvale Castle, since it's at the very beginning of the game. So let's go try and see if we can beat Godric and claim the first great rune. Now, as we are on our way there, I actually have something to tell you. See, I looked at this a little while back, and I actually came to the conclusion that you could not, in fact, beat the game like this. However, after looking at the DLC, I found some new tactics, so I want to try that out in the base game. Also, if you couldn't figure it out already, this is not my actual run at this. This is simply a can you possibly beat the game like this. So if it ends up being possible, make sure to let anybody that you absolutely despise know, and make them try and do this. It might be impossible, but you never know. And then finally, all of these bosses we're gonna try and keep glitchless, just to, you know, kind of for the sake of the challenge. We don't want to just teleport to the end boss and call it a day. So, anyways, with that all being said, let's continue on to Margit. So here we are at Margit. Alright, so last time, how we dealt with this guy was we actually just said that we could do the torrent skip to get around him, but I really don't want to use any skips for these bosses. So we're just gonna try and see if we can somehow damage this guy. And now some of you might be thinking, well, why don't you use the surroundings, right? There's a lot of spears here. Well, last time we found out that these are very, very breakable, and I don't think any of the trees were technically climbable. So that's gonna be a hard no on the surroundings. But you see that attack right there? That one where he slams into the ground? He seems to bend over when he does that. Which leads me to believe if we get him to the lower ground over here, and he does that attack, we might be able to jump onto him and get staggered. Which would mean that we could deal out a little bit of damage. Now, what I mean by that is sometimes when you're trying to jump on an enemy, your character model actually gets paused in the air. Now, this means that you are technically still in the air, but then also falling on top of them, meaning that you're doing a little bit of damage. But alas, this guy is not possible. And also, there is a lot of bosses to go over, so we gotta just move on to the next one. But trust me, I jumped against this man for a good 30 minutes and nothing happened. So with that out of the way, our next target to look at is actually Radahn. Now Radahn is kind of interesting because, you know, this guy, this is probably the biggest one we've ever seen. Now, the thing with Radahn's arena is there are these NPC summon signs that you could activate. But you know, that seems a little bit scummy to just use NPCs. And I actually found this little cool spot on the very edge of the map where I feel like you'll be able to damage this guy. See, there's this neat little rock over here, and he seems to have a pretty hard time getting up here, if you get up here, which, you know, leaves him at a lower level than you, at least the bottom half. Meaning that if you get a pretty good jump, I feel like we will be able to deal some damage to this guy. And there we go, 2 damage. We got stuck on his head and managed to do a little bit of damage to him. Meaning that this guy is fully possible. And also for any strats, you should probably just get him to half HP and do the phase 2 skip from the water. So that is 1 out of 2 bosses that we need to get to the capital. So now that we beat Radahn, we really don't have many other options. See, Rennala, she has 3 different arenas that we would have to get over. And last time it wasn't possible. And then Rykard is completely surrounded in lava, meaning that we couldn't actually jump on him. So the only other boss that we could go try and beat is Mohg. And while originally you'd have to kill quite a few NPCs to get here, you can actually just do the online invasions and then die. But for now, I'm gonna say that going to the online invasions and dying is a perfectly legit way to do it, since that is the developers' way that they actually intended you to get there. So let's go hop into Mohg's arena. Alright, here we are. Now, last time, I don't know if I even tried this boss, I can't fully remember, but what I do remember is that these stone little things are, well, pretty breakable. Meaning that a very easy way to gain ground is actually not very easy. And since, where I'm trying to look for actual strats, we can't just say, well, let's just hope and get lucky for Mohg to not break the stone that we're standing on. Alright, Mohg. This guy is going to be very, very hard for anybody, if anybody ever tries this, though. Ooh, what is this? No, it's not an actual ledge. Come on, game. You're killing me. Ooh. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Mohg, get over here. Mohg, what are you... Oh, he knows this might work. He's backing up. Just because that was way too annoying. But the hitbox still applies? Oh yeah, there we go. 2 damage. So yeah, you can get stuck on his head there. That being said, you're gonna have to somehow survive all of this, but it is technically possible. So with Mohg being dead, we can now move on to the capital. And as we approach the mini-boss before we can actually get to the capital, not to be that guy, but obviously this guy is possible. Not only can you lead him down below this little cliff and jump on him, but since he's an open world boss, you can also just bring him over to this cliffside and parry him off. And I'm pretty sure you don't even have to hit him anymore to actually get him to jump off. I think you can literally just parry him. But even if you can't and I'm wrong, you can just lead him below that cliff and jump on him. Like I said, open world boss, you can kind of bring him anywhere. So I'm not going to waste my time trying to actually get the tick of damage. Alright, so here we are at the capital. And luckily for us, there is nothing preventing us from getting to the final area in this place. So let's just go ahead and teleport there. However, unluckily for us, there are actually 2 bosses that we have to fight. And those are 2 bosses that I had to skip last time. So let's see if we can find some way to actually deal damage. And here we are, Godfrey, or as I call him, Goldfrey. And this guy, he kind of sucks. See, he's very, very tall compared to us. Meaning we're gonna have to find some crazy high ground to deal with this guy. And as I said last time, I had to skip these guys because I didn't think that there was any way to actually, deal damage to them. Because I didn't know about the, getting stuck on the actual model. And, Luckily for us, this guy, he seems to have quite a few moves that gets him lower to the ground and prone to getting stuck on. Alright, so last time, I searched around. We saw that, you know, there's this cliff thing here, which will probably get us to the highest position. And other than that, there's not really any reachable position. So let's first try and see if I can try and get some sort of parkour movement over here. And I don't know where the best place to be is, but I feel like the corner is always a good idea. Because in the corner, they get stuck, which... Oh, there we go. See? They get stuck in the corner, which makes your character stuck in the corner, which keeps you in the air, which then eventually will deal out some damage. So, as you can see there, that's 2 damage. That was with the ability to not get hit. And, like, technically, you can dodge if you're, like, I don't know, that good. But it seems like, yes, this guy is possible. We did 2 damage. But unlucky for us, this next one we have already seen. This next one is none other than Margit in his final form. And unlucky for us, again, is his character model has not changed. It's the same exact thing, but he does have some different moves. So we have some hope. Oh yeah, and there are like 0 ledges in this fight. So we are kind of screwed. And the only thing of height that we could get breaks when you jump into it, and breaks when any of his attacks jumps into it. So we were kind of cooked. But there are a lot of corners, which is something that the first arena had absolutely 0 of. Which gives me quite a bit of hope, actually. Oh man, okay, so that would have been really good. If this thing brought you up, that would be peak. However, it seems to have no hitbox. Alright, so let's go check out and see if some of these corners work. It's like I'm not getting stuck on anything like I normally do. Like, I'm not getting stunned in the air. Alright, well, this is like a very 90-degree sort of angle here. So I'm not getting, like, stuck on the wall. Which I feel like I might just have to get stuck on the wall for this to work. Because I'm not getting stuck on him. They just made Margit too perfect. Why is the game this polished? Miyazaki, why did you make a good game? Ooh, wait. I gained some height there. Alright, Miyazaki, you are done for. I think this is the strat. Oh, there we go again. Okay, I think I'm gaining height because he's pushing me up there. Oh, there we go, 12 damage. He had me stuck in this little corner in like the floating state or whatever. I don't think you even need to sprint to get up there. So, that means it is possible. I mean, this one is one of those, like, I don't think it'll be humanly possible, just because there's no way to actually dodge. But it is actually possible, which is better than, you know, not possible at all. So, that is 1 step closer to beating the game, which is a lot more steps closer than my first attempt at this. Take that, Morgott. So with Morgott defeated, we now have access to Mountaintop of the Giants. And there's no boss that is stopping us from the Fire Giant, so we can just go ahead and go up there. And funnily enough, the biggest boss in the base game, at least, is actually the easiest boss to kill from the fall damage only. Yeah, you can even just do it from the ground here. Like, it is, I mean, it is crazy low damage, but you can actually get some damage output. And, you know, I don't know if it would be easiest because he does have crazy amounts of HP. But yeah, it's possible. So, we can just go on to probably one of the hardest bosses that will be in this challenge, which is going to be Maliketh. But to people that know this game, then you know that you have to fight the Godskin duo, which might just be the worst non-optional boss in this entire game. Because it's not just one boss, it is actually two. And these two bosses together, they just, it's not fun. But lucky for us, we don't even have to try out this boss, because this is the one where, in our previous attempt, it was possible. And lady. Oh, wait, hold up. 3 damage. It works. So we can just go straight to Maliketh. So you might be seeing why this is gonna be the hardest one. There seems to be no way to, you know, get any high ground. Like, quite literally, this is one of the most flat arenas I think I've ever seen. So really, I think our only hope is to somehow get stuck on the character model. Unless there's some, like, well, there's a... Hold on, there's a little bit of height here. As in, a little bit of, like, stagger height. Yeah, if you look at that. We can't actually get on top of the pillars, which would be absolutely peak. Oh, okay, by the way, there's 2 damage that we got from just the stagger. And I think all these... Oh, wait, no, he didn't. Hold on a second. Wait, there's like a... There is a ledge. There's, like, it has to be such a precise jump. Unless it's like the angle that you're coming at. Yeah, it's like the angle. Yeah, hold up. If you wiggle it, you can kind of just like walk up. Wait, hold on. You could just walk up here. Which one was that? Oh, it was this one with the candles. Oh, that's probably why. Okay, another thing to just quickly check is the top standable? Or will this just kick you off? Okay, it kicks you off. Yeah, because now I have it off. And it's like a dead zone. Okay, no, here's the top of it. Let's see then. Okay, no, there is physics. You can... Because, yeah, now his, like, AI is kind of broken. It's like, hold on. I'm supposed to have the high ground here, not you. Yeah, and then there's some good damage. I mean, it's the same damage, but you get the idea. So if you can somehow get up there, then it'll be, like, humanly possible. You just have to, like, master that. And then somehow, okay, you can do it over here. Anyways, I've wasted enough time on this. The first phase is possible. And now this might get a little bit harder. So we need to find out again if we can deal damage to this guy. Just because he has a totally different character model. But I think we can use the same tactic. It's just this guy's good, like, this guy's... Oh yeah, there we go, 2 damage. This guy's gonna be a lot less humanly possible, just because, like, every single attack is an AoE, as you can see. But yes, he is humanly possible, which is better than last time. So, let's just kill him and move on. And with him dead, that only leaves 3 more bosses, which 2 of them are in arenas that we have already been in, meaning that they should be pretty easy. And here we are with maybe just the most annoying man in all of gaming history. Yes, I am talking about Gideon Ofnir. Now, the funny thing about Gideon is he is technically an NPC, which is gonna make things a little bit harder. Because this guy, he's quite tiny. However, that means that we can probably hit him without standing super high up. If he gets over here, that is. No damage there. I think I landed on him. I might have to use the corner again. Although I'm kind of scared about that because, you know, he's an NPC. Meaning you can't really get stuck on him, really. Okay. Come over here, Gideon. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get stuck on the wall. Not on him. Sucks because he's a ranged character. Can I, like, force him into the wall? Because he backs up from where I am. Yeah. I think it is. What about these, then? Yeah, let's try the parkour out. I just need to get more accurate with my jumps, I think. I think it's possible. I might try it out with no clip just to see if you will actually take damage. Like, I'm pretty sure they take damage from falling. Or when I fall on them. But I don't know. Because last time I did the skip, it's not... okay, I think it's in the major glitch section, but it's just like a using the terrain / like funny weapon art, I think. I don't fully know. But I wanna make sure that there's no possible way that you can hit him otherwise. He seems to always walk away from you. Just like this guy just absolutely sucks. One of the worst bosses in this game, I think. Okay, there's his melee weapon, but he never uses it. I don't know why. Like, it'd make this 10 times easier. He uses it only for the Ash of War. I didn't even notice that. You out of FP? Wait, is he actually out of FP? Oh wait, okay, wait. There's damage, by the way. I don't know why he was doing that, but... Anyways, we did damage on him, so... But yeah, this guy's probably gonna be one of the hardest ones to pull off. Just because he's so jank and so annoying, and he projectiles everywhere. Oh, shut up. So with Gideon down, we only have 2 bosses left. Alright, so remember this place from a few minutes ago? Morgott's Arena with like no ledges. Well, we have to kill another boss here. But do remember, there were corners and lots of them, which might make this guy a lot easier. Because he's kind of like the same height, I feel like. Relatively same jank level, like there's nothing too crazy. The screen shake is insane though. Maybe getting hit is gonna help here. I think your body still counts. Oh yeah, 4 damage, there we go. 2 damage. So yeah, this wall, if you get hit, it stuns you enough to do damage. Alright. Well, I think that'll be the same exact thing as second phase, so we can kill this guy. Alright, so we have figured out that you can technically get to the final boss. So, obviously, the final boss is gonna be beatable, right? Well, this is where I'm kinda scared. Let's just have a look, shall we? Well, yeah, we're kind of running into an issue here. Let's see. He doesn't have much jank, and there's no way to gain height, and there's no corners. Well. This might be the part where we are jumping against him for about, like, 2 hours. All we need to do is find some way to get stuck. Like, there is quite literally... I don't think there's anything that increases your height. Like this, maybe? I mean, it's the edge of the map. Wait a second. Hold on, 2 damage. This is a wall. Wait, all of these... Oh, you can't jump off. These are all walls. Okay. Never mind. You can actually... Okay, crisis averted. I thought you could jump off of it. I just haven't played this game in so long. And my first jump, I did damage. Okay, second phase is the same thing for this guy. So Radagon is possible. However, this isn't actually the final boss. There's one more, right after him. And, this is even flatter. But I think there's some jank. Like, there's gotta be some jank to this guy. Like, okay, yeah, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're fine. I need to see the damage. I've seen the damage for all of them. I need to see the damage. It's 1000% possible. I just need to see it. I also need to figure out a strat for this guy. I think just like jumping near his back would work. Or like his leg. Or maybe like the golden hippo, you can jump into him. Like, look at that. Like, what happens when you get clipped enough into him is they send you to the top of the model. I need to hit him. Where's the damage number? Show me the damage. Show me the damage. If Radagon is possible, this guy is 1000% possible when he doesn't attack like that. Like, what is this? This is his fire attack? Oh yeah, 2 damage. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have officially done it. Base game Elden Ring is fully possible to beat with only your fall damage. Is it humanly possible? Maybe if you're an insane human and you have 1,000 years to try this. But yeah, it's definitely possible to actually kill some of these bosses. And there are, are a few new techs that I found out to, deal with these bosses easier. So if anybody wants to try this, then I'll just let you know that it is possible, and good luck, because I think, I don't know how. I don't know how anybody could do this. And hey, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you made it this far, might as well just like and subscribe, and just to quickly answer some questions, I don't think I will be attempting this ever. Like, this is just gonna be way too insanely hard. I might try like one boss eventually, but yeah, it's gonna be quite a task if anybody ever tries this. I just wanted to see if it was possible. And if you want to check out the other video about the DLC, if that is possible, then it should be on screen anytime now. And I hope to see you next time.